1 week to go until Christmas Day.
That's right.
It's the podcast on this Thursday, December 18th. He's James. I'm Brennan. We got a lot to go over today. Some things we will start with a little housekeeping around here. So, email came through yesterday from our promotions department. They say we're getting ready for the end of the year, and here's the email I got.
Yes.
Printed it out. Went to everybody. So they sent this to talent, anyone you see on your TV or on this podcast, the
Yes.
reporters, anchors, meteorologists. And they say they're putting together, it's a great idea, hour-long highlight show kind of from the year of what we've done with our newscast and what we've done specifically on this app, the CTV.
Yes.
That's Connected TV, the Rochester First streaming app. And they said, we want to show people what they can expect, what they might have missed
Yes.
or anything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh boy, this show?
Right.
Where do we begin? Because they said you get 1 minute.
Yeah,
To
only 1
condense it
minute.
in.
Today's topics we do every day. We do this podcast consistently every day for 30 minutes.
Yes, we do. And we cover anything and everything
Yes.
that you don't get in our regular shows. And I said, we don't have to record a selfie video or anything. Let's just take something from the pod.
Yes.
We'll talk about it doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're talking about it now, and then boom, clip, now insert some of our best hits.
We talk about nothing and we have fun doing it. And that's about it. Wrap it up, package it, and send it on its way.
And from what we do here, like decent feedback, which is nice. Whether it's someone, we had a story of the Amazon driver listening to us
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
go. I've
Yep.
got some buddies who on YouTube or on this app every day catch something and they'll text me mid-show just laughing about it.
A little bit relatable.
Yeah, the dad stories, neighbor stories, homeowner stuff. So a lot of fun. So that's it. That was about a minute. Take that. And that's what
that
you get
sounds
from the
good.
show.
There are so many podcasts out there, and I have podcast paralysis. I'm subscribed to 100 different podcasts, and I'm always like, what do I want to listen to? And there's so many that I'm like, there's nothing to listen to. It's a funny contradiction, right?
Yes.
Where you're like, I'm overwhelmed with the amount of podcasts that there's nothing that I actually want to listen to because I want to listen to everything. So then I'm like, just sitting there. I'm like, what do I do? So this podcast is perfect. 30-minute little chunk, very relatable. If you're around the area, you'll probably catch on something that you could relate with us to.
It's kind of like when you're like, let me pull up Netflix, I want to watch something.
Yeah.
And all you do is just scroll through the menu for 10 minutes and you don't watch anything.
Nothing.
What do? You see trailers or you read the descriptions. I do this with podcasts too. I have 3 that I subscribe to. They get downloaded automatically when they drop each day, each week. Others, I'll look and I'll go to the top 10. I'm like, this is what everyone's listening to.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Joe Rogan or Stern or anyone like that, or it's like all these random things that are just top. And I'm like,
Yeah.
these are like millions of listeners, and check it out. And I'll read the descriptions, and I'm like, I'm okay.
I'm good. Yes, I've found a couple of hidden gems, but I see some of that like with some of these streamers. These people have like 100,000 people watching them doing nothing, just sitting there. I'm
I know.
Like, how is that? What are you doing?
It is every time, and we talk about this. If we have an issue, say something's wrong with a car, or I need to put something together, or a recipe,
Yeah.
and you just put it in the search engine, and it shoots up not just one clip, it'll be many, and it's all these random people. Like I'm in the market for a new treadmill, and I've been looking up reviews and stuff.
Sure.
And I have found treadmill guy, treadmill woman, tread FAQ expert.
Yeah.
And they're all like tens of thousands of views and like the same people. It's just some rando
Yeah.
on this treadmill saying whatever. And you're like, they got to know what they're doing if it's got all these views and feedback.
Have you tried Wirecutter? New York Times? They usually do a pretty good job with reviewing
the
stuff.
other one that my father-in-law always brings up is Consumer Reports.
Consumer Reports is
He's
great.
Got the subscription, however it works.
Oh,
and
okay.
He'll be like, anytime when we needed a new fridge or a new dishwasher, he's like, let me pull up Consumer Reports.
Yeah.
He used to be one where, and this was not a long time ago, I mean, in recent months and years, pull out a magazine, I think, that comes out with it,
Ooh.
or like paper documents to look
Wow.
it up on the reviews.
Old school.
And so when we had kind of settled on a new treadmill, because I had another one with a motor that burned out, we were about to pull the trigger and get it over the weekend. And then we got busy, and I'm not the biggest rush. And then Steph takes the kids to go to her parents. And next thing I know, I get this picture that comes through my phone. It is a printed out page of Consumer Reports on treadmills.
Wow.
And I'm like, Frankie's on it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, looking it up.
I
You'll have
feel
that.
like now is probably the time to buy it because I bet in January the prices probably go up.
Yes,
Right?
they are. And I say this with Black Friday and the holidays. It's almost the same deals all the time. But
Yeah.
yes, and they are getting ready to. I was thinking are these prices going to go up? The discounts might not be as much because this is when they're getting ready to sell everything,
Right.
to clear it out because it's, January, new year, new me, the holidays. And the price has been pretty good. I found some good deals. But the one thing when I've talked about ordering them is with these, you really have to get these contractors. And all they do around town, and they're here, is they just carry in treadmills, 500 pounds, and they install them.
That's brutal.
And they put them together.
Yeah.
And so I'll price that out. And that's where they're like, we might have one or two of these treadmills that you're looking at, but we're talking end of January to get in and do it.
Oh, because you got a specific. You use yours a lot.
I use mine a lot because I run half marathons, do it a lot.
Right.
Steph likes it for incline walking, stuff at home. And we ditch gym memberships. Yes, we're at the Y and we do some stuff there, but that's mainly for kids and swimming and activities. But yeah, to have it home, and I use it a lot. So I've done
Have you
a
moved
ton
to
of
treadmill
research.
before?
No, the one that I've owned, we did it 4 years ago when I ordered it from Dick's Sporting Goods and got them to come install it. And these guys are like, we'll put in 3 or 4 a day, a couple a week.
Very unpleasant.
Yes.
I have moved multiple treadmills. I've moved ellipticals up and down stairs, around corners, and all of that equipment is brutal. Me and my brother-in-law. So we bought our treadmill from Dick's. Good sale out there in Victor. Bought it, threw it in the back of a truck that I borrowed, got it home, and just getting it off the truck, bringing it down the stairs, going around the corner in the basement, finally getting it to where it needs to go, taking it out, installing it. I mean, we saved money because we didn't have to pay any for the install. But those things are just bears.
They are, because a lot of them, they're like, we can handle 300 to 450 pounds. But then when you look at, it's the deck. I mean, it's what you're on. That thing itself may be 300 pounds.
Yes. And it's just awkward shaped.
Yes.
And the weight is unevenly distributed. If it was perfectly distributed in the box, that's one thing. But like half of the box is 80% of the weight. So that makes it more awkward. And it's just so funny because if you look online for people that like sell their treadmills, the price will drop down to zero and they'll say, please, somebody just take my treadmill. And no one will, because they're so hard to take apart. And when you take it apart, it ain't going back together because you're going to have to smash it against the walls to get it out the house.
Yeah. We've looked at every option because it'll be delivery to your garage or driveway, or it's room of choice. I spoke with another guy who I got some advice on, and he's a maintenance guy. All he does is service these. And he's like, I'm not moving it, but I'll put it together if you can have it in the spot. And so, yeah, we're working on that. My big fear is actually, even if I had a couple of people together to get it where it was, of putting it together right the first time and having it just seems daunting because, so I'll keep you updated on that. Speaking of running and kind of going on that, we decided, my wife and I, to kind of do our own gifts this year. So it's like, find out what you want. We've got Disney coming up. Get you some things, what you want. And I was looking around. I was going to get some stuff for running. And one of the things I looked up, and we don't ever do, it's not product endorsements here. We don't get paid by anybody to do anything when we bring up products. But there's one company called Nox Gear, and they do the illuminated vest that you wear if you're running in the dark, which helps here when it gets so dark early at night, if you run in the afternoon or in the morning.
Smart.
They also have lamps that go to one. So I got online and I said, I'm going to get this lamp because I like to run early Saturday mornings. Sun's not up till 7 something, so I'll have it. So I got it, got a better deal than this, got delivered and everything. So about 3 days after I ordered it, I got an email. This would have been 2 days ago. It said from Nox Gear, a very important message about your product. Alert. Here's the message. We're happy to say your order's on its way. It contains our powerful 500 lumen lamp. We wanted to know the lamp gets warm when you use it, especially the lens area. That's normal for a high intensity light. It doesn't pose a safety risk with normal use, and while it does heat up, it won't be too hot to touch or operate. But if you put the lens directly against your self-fabric objects for long enough, it can burn. Don't allow anything near or to be in contact with the lens or your lamp for a prolonged period, and use care when you're using jackets or coats. So they say operating at the low beam setting, 250 lumen poses little risk of burning, even if something's resting directly on it. Oh, man. At the end, thank you so much for your order. Stay safe out there.
I've never seen any note like this before.
No, usually it's on the product page or whenever you're getting it, or a box pops up and it's like, hey, acknowledge this. And I was like, that would have been,
By the way,
I would have gotten it anyway, but this came up like right after. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I immediately thought, how many people have had a hole burned in their running jacket or touched it without a glove?
is this going on your head?
No, it goes. So what I have here is this
it goes
little
on your
tracer tube.
chest.
So I have this chest, and then this attaches right to the front.
Oh, okay.
So some people do headlamps, but they can kind of be kind of awkward. People use the ones they use for, plumbing work.
I have
Whatever
a
it may
bunch
be.
of headlamps.
Yeah,
I have
it's just like that.
3 at home.
Yes, it's like. But maybe if you're outside running a bit, maybe they bounce too much, maybe it's not comfortable. This was an easy thing. And I read a ton of reviews about it, but no one mentioned that separate message that I was going to get that just came up and said, by the way.
Yeah. Watch out. It gets hot.
I know. So you know what I'm going
Because
to
LEDs usually don't get hot. So that's what's interesting.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on,
Yeah.
max, and we'll see.
Right.
I'm not going to touch it, but I'm just,
Test
like, far enough away from the candle, you can feel the heat. Just be careful with
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so funny. I just changed. So we have like one light bulb set in my upstairs bathroom. And it's like from the original homeowners. I really don't like the lamp. I want to get it changed. And I've had it on the to-do list. And it's a job that I could do, but, things get pushed back.
Yeah.
So it's halogen light, which is like in between when we went from incandescent, then it was halogen, then it was LED. LED is far superior. It's the best you got to have in your house no matter what. They don't get hot. They use zero energy. They're the best. So this is halogen light because it's a very specific light bulb in this setting here. So I had to replace the bulbs like last week, like 2 or 3 bulbs, and there's 4 of them in there. And I burned myself like twice because I'm not used to these old school lights. Because LEDs you can just grab and twist and turn and whatever, they're fine. But these halogens, I kept touching them, and even after they went off, the heat was still on them like 3 minutes later.
Still.
Yes, and it's just so funny. And I remember as a kid changing a light bulb, and those things would just be on fire.
Yes. And now it's just you turn off the switch, grab the problem bulb, and
just change
put it
out.
wherever. And
LEDs
that's it.
are just the absolute best. Incandescents, thumbs down.
I had an issue with a light the other day. So we installed some in our house.
Yeah.
Of course.
Are they going to clip these audio clips for our show where we just...
above
rants
our
about
island
things.
in our kitchen, there are 5 hanging bulbs, and they have just a little bitty light. I don't know what it's called that you just plug in. It's got 2 prongs.
Yeah.
And the bulb itself, it's kind of just like if you're just hanging glass and it comes around. So it's narrow on top, big on the bottom. And for some reason, these lights inside, they don't go bad, but they just get a little loose. And so 1 will go out, 2 will go out. Sometimes I can just shake the light a little bit and it'll fix, or other times I just have to twist and slide the glass off carefully and just replug that light in. So we had family over the other day. Kids are getting ready to have hot chocolate, cookies, everything's on the table. A couple of the lights are out. I'm like, let me just do it. I've done it 50 times. And I go and I'm messing with it, and I mess with the light once. Next thing I know, left hand holding the bulb falls out. Crash.
Oh, no.
Shatter. Everywhere.
They'll break.
All over the counter, the floor. There are 5 kids in their house. We're like, freeze.
Right.
Who's got on shoes? Who's got on socks? Stay out of the kitchen.
Right.
And I mean, when I talk about something breaking and shattering, every single little piece. It wasn't just like 5 pieces. It was everywhere. And so we go through, we're vacuuming it up. I'm
The
like,
cat's
I'm so
coming
sorry, I'm
by.
so sorry. Yes, everyone was looking. I'm checking my shoes. I wear slides all the time in the house. Family was over, and I clean it all up, and then I look around, and I'm shining my phone, and I can see little reflections and glimmers. I'm like, there's still some shards there. It was just a mess. Do I have extra one of those little pieces of the bulbs, the actual light? Yes. Do I have one of those glass ones? No.
It just slipped right out of your hand.
It just slipped right out. I don't know what I was doing. I was just messing with it, and it just fell right out.
Are your hands over your head? Or is it kind of like in front of you?
It was right kind of in front of me and over my head. So
Yeah.
I'm reaching like this, and then I'm just like dropped right in front of me.
That's the worst. The last time I broke glass, it was hands over the head. I was reaching for a mason jar, and the mason jar came down. And of course, it's like it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was like a birthday party or something. But it's in the middle of a party.
Yes.
Right? It's right in the kitchen, and everybody's there. And it's like, can I please just break glass when I'm by myself?
I know. So there, you have it. News 8 promotion team.
Yeah.
That was
There's some content for you.
15 minutes on lamps and glass. How about that?
And running on treadmills.
We do have more to come up on the pod. Survivor was interesting
Gotta talk
last
about it.
night with how that aired. And then Kobe Bryant, the late great, and some of his Grinch shoes, how much they could get at auction. Kobe. Back here on the pod this Thursday morning, 18th of December. I'm Brennan. He's James. Some of the day's stories we're talking about. Survivor,
Yes.
a season finale last night, ended up being 2 parts. Because we got the announcement that President Trump was going to give his primetime speech, and it was going to be what he was doing with the economy, his term so far now that he's back in office. So we're not getting into that. But the show itself, because we're like, well, this was scheduled. They're getting ready to close out 49.
Right.
It airs during that time. What happened?
Yeah.
They ended up, and ABC and NBC did this with whatever shows they had on too, of splitting it in half, kind of basically, of starting and then picking up where it was, or you could slide your stuff anyway. But for the 50th season, that is coming in February.
Yeah, that's what this video is. You
Yes.
see some familiar faces from older seasons.
They're pulling some legendary castaways, competitors from the most recent 49th season as well, who will be coming back. Now, before this season, for half a century starts for Survivor, there's a nationwide challenge where they're asked people around the U.S. to track down authentic immunity idols hidden in their state.
That's pretty cool.
You have to get your wife on this.
I know. She loves it. She's a huge Survivor fan. A few years ago, we watched it might have been during the pandemic, maybe. Must have been pre-kids, right? Because we watched all the seasons, every single one.
Oh,
All of them. It took like months and months and months. It took like almost a year to watch all the seasons.
I bet.
And it's interesting because they, how they usually every few years they do like a All-Stars Survivor. They do a bunch of randoms and then All-Stars, and then they did families and all these different kinds. And it's just cool to watch the evolution of how they change and tweak what seems like kind of a pretty basic show every year. And I loved when they used to do like Survivor Africa, Survivor Australia.
Yeah.
They used to do all these different locations, but now they're like, nah, we're just going to keep it on one island. So it's always on the same island every
Do they
year.
say, is it just kind of generic or?
It's Bora Bora, I think
Bora
it
Bora.
is, something like that. And they must just have one island that they've just got reserved that they just hold down on the same place. But yeah, no, it ended last night. I guess, from what I saw, Trump didn't really say anything earth-shattering. There was no like big announcement. This wasn't like a State of the Union. It was just,
No, it was. He was just talking about this term so
Economy.
far, the economy,
Right.
immigration, plans for coming up, what he wants to unveil, and then getting ready to take this on a speaking tour. And it was 18, 19 minutes.
which is short for him.
That was short. And everyone, the main networks, of course, they do the lead in, some analysis, and then dump back out. And it was like, how do you squeeze this into primetime?
Yeah.
I'm seeing Survivor more than 700 episodes.
It's a lot.
Wow, man.
It's a lot. But it's like 40 minutes though if you're not doing commercials. But what else was I going to say? Oh yeah. So his timing was good overall, right? There's no sports, or there were very few sports
Right.
anyways. Thursday night football obviously not happening.
Right.
It wasn't Saturday or Sunday. So, if he's going to pick a time to talk, let it be. And you want to do presidents, they like doing the 9 p.m. so you can get the West Coast.
Yeah, to
Really,
get everyone.
right.
And
That's
it
what
was
they're not doing
quick.
5
It
or
was
6.
over early, much shorter than what you would get from a address to Congress or a State of the Union.
Yeah.
And then wrapped up. But yeah, they had to figure out how to do this because this is the week, like all the fall seasons are having their finales because no one's doing it next week, getting into Christmas,
Right.
and then they'll come back after
Now's
that.
the time to do it.
Some other big news that came out yesterday, the Oscars moving to YouTube, so leaving its long-running home at ABC. Now, this will give the streaming giant exclusive rights to air the Oscars live for free to more than 2 billion viewers around the world. This YouTube agreement will start in 2029, so that will be the 101st Oscars ceremony and will run through 2033. And so ABC will get the 100th. And whenever you hear this and you're just like, what's next?
This is just it. This is just the way things are going.
Oscars, they do get plenty of viewers, but nothing like an NFL game or anything like that. But the NFL has dipped into that with the games on Christmas Day, which are only on streaming, what they've done on Black Friday. Super Bowl seems like it'd be a long, long way out. Because you just reach it's a third of the country, more than that watches that on that Sunday. Yeah.
You know, I just think like they have so much money. You know what I mean? It's just like unlimited dollars. And so I just think they can just buy things out. And I'm assuming I think the Oscars through YouTube is going to be really good because nothing is off limits because they can spend,
whatever.
They can spend so much money on everything. That's also true. You have less boundaries on what you can say.
Yeah.
Right. And also the commercial restraints aren't probably nearly as strict because YouTube makes a lot of money because people just pay YouTube. I am one of the people that just pays YouTube on a monthly subscription. So for what it's worth, like they don't have these time constraints, you know? So
the streaming everywhere. So it's YouTube to Google to Alphabet, right? That's the ownership line. Alphabet's net worth about 3.6 trillion.
Trillion with a T.
Man.
Yeah.
This is it. I laugh at that because it was when ABC and ESPN got taken off YouTube TV a couple weeks ago in the middle of the college football season.
Yeah.
And like they're arguing over, you know, it could be $18 to $20 for whatever ESPN pays to be on it or however the deal works. And I'm like, you just have so much money with the parent company.
Right.
But
it's just a monster.
I know. Rich people rich because they're cheap. That's what they got. Yes, that's how it works.
They're running the show. Sundar Pichai, I know he's the CEO. He runs Google. I don't know if he's the head of Alphabet.
It's wild.
He's got a crazy story because he's from India and like came from nothing at all, you know, and how he rose to ascension is pretty neat. He's done a lot of interviews, so check those out if you're interested.
Another thing to check out, to look and probably not buy. Speaking of money, $10 million could maybe get you these sneakers. So here they are. It's a Grinch-themed pair of Nikes worn and signed by the late NBA great Kobe Bryant. He wore them on a Christmas Day game against the Heat in 2010. The digital auction house Jupiter expects these green Nikes to go for, double digits, so $10 million. The shoes are currently on display in Beverly Hills, so we'll see what they get. Anyone who's a sneakerhead knows that these shoes are like incredible. Of course, these signed and what he had and played in. But when you just search Kobe Grinch on Google, all of these, so $300, $400, $700, $800. The red ones, pretty cool. Like those are like the shoe.
How much have you spent on a shoe before?
Soccer cleats, probably close to 200.
Ooh, yeah.
When I was playing.
Sure.
That was what was it?
That was peak.
Kangaroo leather, I think is what some of them were made out of way back when.
Kangaroo leather, that's fancy.
This was like Nike, Adidas, like some of the shoes, like that's what they were made of.
Sure.
It was like soft, what they had, and then running shoes, less than 200.
Yeah.
But regular everyday kicks, a Nike pair, 120, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my range is 120.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you get a dress pair for like 60 or 70 on discount.
Now it is just for dress shoes. I'm looking. Find me something cheap that just looks okay. Doesn't matter. I can leave them here at work.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll have that. All right. Final weather before we get out. We got about 1 minute.
Today's nice. We've got, there's no wind right now, but the wind ramps up. We've got rain coming in late as an after sunset. And those numbers, they just jump out. 50 degrees. We are warm. Tomorrow morning is going to be very interesting as we've got rain and then temperatures. I'm seeing a 25-degree temperature drop in 12 hours.
Whew. Wow.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll go from 50 to 25 for tomorrow. So impressive going into the weekend.
How about that? More on the way, coming your way on your TV at noon. Bye, everybody.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.